In this video, we will talk about user management in Linux. Remember that all the users in our system are in this file, etc password file. We have all all the users of our system here. So if we modify this file and add a new line with the information for a new user, we will have a new user in the system. But we will also need to modify another two files, groups and shadow file, and it's a manual operation. So usually we don't do that for creating users or modifying users. We use some special commands that are used for that, for managing users. The first thing that we will see is how to create a new user in our system. I'm going to list the password file here again. Okay, here, this is the password file, and I will open another terminal here so we can see the changes that we are performing here in the file. So the first command for creating a user is we have two similar commands, add users and user add. The second one, this is the low-level command for creating a user. This one is the command used for creating a user, but you need to pass all the parameters and a lot of information to that command. So we have another one, add user, that has an interactive prompt and will help us to create users in a easier way. Okay, so this is for creating a user. I will create a user. I will try to create a user, for example, Elmo, and it will fail. Why? Because only the root user, only the super user is allowed to create new users for our system. For doing that, I will need to run this command as root. We have done this before, but that is done with the sudo command. We will talk about sudo and identity management in another video. Sudo add user and the name of the user. And it will ask for some information. It will ask for some information. For example, the new, this is, here is asking for, this is for the sudo command. This is asking for my password. So I will enter my command and then I will start to adding the user. Okay. It tells us that it has created a new user, a new group, it has created the home directory, and it's asking for the password of the new user. In this case, we are using the same password. Okay, and it asks for some information. Remember that in the password file, there is a field for storing information about the user. So it asks for the full name, user. I can put whatever I want here. I can leave it blank. And okay, I have a new user in our system. Remember, this was the contents of the password file before creating the new user. Now I will list, maybe here it will be better, so we can see the two versions of the same file. For example, here we can see that we have a new line with the information for the new user. It has also modified another two files, group password and shadow file, that we will see that in another video. Okay, we have created the user, and here in the home directory, remember this is the home directory for that user. We have a new directory with the files for that user. I can't access here because I don't have the permissions. I'm not authorized to do that. And it has created it with a couple of files that are defined in a configuration file in another part of the system. We are not seeing that in that video. Okay, so we have run add user, the high level command for creating users. We have entered all that information by hand, and we have a new user in our system. Remember, this is a and real user, but we can also create system users. For example, imagine that we are creating a service and we want to create another user. We can pass a flag here, system, and it will create a system user. If I run that, okay, it haven't asked for information in this case. Okay, it haven't asked for a new password because it's a system user. It's not supposed to log into our system, so we won't need a password. It haven't asked for additional information, and it has created the user with a look at the number, the user number. It belongs to the range for system user, and it has created a new home directory. Sorry, a new home directory here for that user. We can change, for example, the home directory for the user. So imagine that we have, for example, Bert, and we can say we can specify a home directory, right? For example, Bert directory. Okay, it will do the same, but in this case, we don't have the home directory here. We will have it here. Okay, this is the system user. As you can see, no login. They are not allowed to log in, and the directories and the IDs belonging to the system user. So this is the first command, the high-level command add user, and we can also use user add command. User add is not meant to be run interactively. Is a command used for scripts. For example, if you need to create a new user from a script, from a script or for another program, you will use user add. Is very similar to add user. Remember, they have a lot of options. Remember that you can use man add user. You can see here all the options for that command or the explanation of that. The same for user add. User add. Okay, all the options. You have all the options here. And you can create a user with user add. For example, you need to specify more information. For example, if I just run this command, I need to, it won't create a user because I need some options to do that. We won't see the user add command here. But for example, just for an example here, this will be the way of creating a system user with user add. It's very similar to add user, and I can create a normal user here using user add, but it's more low level and intended for scripts.